Hello and welcome back to Defiance. Now this is the original version of Defiance, and in today's video we're going to be talking about what's happening with 2015 and the little changes that they're actually making. So in my previous video where I was giving my first impressions of 2050, it was a little bit all over the place, but that was generally because I haven't played Defiance in such a long time. This character you're seeing right here is the very first character I made when playing this game. And I moved on to another character after dropping this, but it is very different and is actually quite a difference in graphics between the two versions. When I was playing it, I thought it didn't really look that different, but that was coming off memory. But looking at it now, it looked very, very bad on the original, very bad. The AA solution, the general environment just looks quite bad. This is the gun I was talking about. If you watch my previous video where I was talking about having free laser eye surgery, that was the gun I was talking about, and now I have no ammo for it. So in 2050, the main thing with the game is something that we can't actually see, which is an engine upgrade, which will allow them to add more content in at a more reasonable thing. So it turns out that the original game wasn't really set up in a way to expand in the way they wanted to. So we can't really see what's going on in the background, but it led to better performance in 2050, and they can now add more content in and do other things that they wanted to do with the game, but they were just so severely limited by how the game originally was created. So what else can we expect? Well, at launch, they're going to have a new class. As it turns out, in the original, there are only 4 classes, and in 2050, there were 5 classes. I think the Demolitionist was the new class they added in, but I got that wrong, of course, when I was playing, because I thought that was in the original game, which it was not. I've got my notes here that I listed down because I actually went into some information about 2050. So there'll be new items. I can't give you the list of new items, but they have said there'll be new items and of course a new leveling system. So if you weren't familiar with the original grid, this is what I was talking about. It's just a massive cube, unlike 2050 where you actually have a skill tree to go down and it's very clear and very easy to understand. Whereas with this, it can be very, very difficult to understand what the hell is going on. That's basically it for the launch of the game. It's going to be a little bit upgraded, and they have a few new things for you to play with, but it'll be largely the same game. In the short future, however, they're going to add new end game content, which I think is great because that's one of the things that really ruined this game for me, because there wasn't really that much to do. In fact, let's go for a little ride while I'm talking about it. So spawn the vehicle. They'll be adding in more co-op stuff and more missions, which I think is great because that's what I just said. It was a severe lack of content in the original game. They're very much relying on the Ark Falls for you to basically waste your time with. Oop, I just killed that. Let's not take him out. Let's just go around. One thing I will mention is the vehicle is so much easier to handle in this game. In this version even. It's so much easier. In 2050, it just slips and slides everywhere. So that's what they're going to add in fairly soon after launch. There's no actual date given, but they are planning to add in a lot more content for the end game and co-op players. But future, what their plans are for more classes. That's right, they don't want to have the standard 5 classes that they're going to start with. They want to add in more and more and more. I don't know if they'll just be added in as a base game thing or added through the cash shop, because this is Tryon World. So I wouldn't put past them adding the new classes to a cash shop DLC or something like that. And they also want to add some more content in the future, so more DLCs, more everything. So the thing that you really should know is in 2050, all the DLC for the base Defiance is rolled into the free version, as in you gain absolutely everything from the original game for free. So the fact that they're going to add in new content does give me hope that this game will do relatively well, because I spent about 32 quid on this game and it was kind of a disappointment. I do quite regret purchasing it, because it was very much hyped up by a lot of YouTubers, but when you actually play it after a while, it's just kind of boring because there's not that much to do. It's like I'm just riding around on my bike here. I've gone past a few enemies. I don't actually have to kill the enemies. Do excuse me, enemy. Thank you. It's so nice that they waited for me to actually get unstuck and drive away. But yeah, it's just I'm driving around it. There is no like inclination to actually stop and help any of these little AIs. There's no point in actually stopping and killing any of these things, doing any of the events, because they're not really worth it. Sure, I could get some experience, sure I could get some new guns, but there's no point after that. It's like Borderlands without a story. That's the thing. Wow, look at that low frame rate distance rendering. Oh boy. So that is just like a little update video in case you're interested in playing Defiance 2050. So they are planning to add new content, there's new content at launch, and they want to add in a lot more later down the line, and whether that content will be free or not is still yet to be seen. But the developers look like they know what they're doing, they know how to rectify the original game, and I really hope they do well. So thank you all for watching, I'll be back with another video at some point soon. Bye bye.